Summary of the previous part. Whitebeard led the pirates in a fierce assault, plunging the battlefield into chaos. The Navy struggled as the encirclement walls were frozen by Akiji's actions, creating disadvantages for both sides. Whitebeard unleashed his seismic power, overturning the entire island and eliminating numerous enemies, leaving the Navy in disarray, drawing ridicule from both the Navy and the pirates. Whitebeard's overwhelming power and Doflamingo's weakness vividly illustrated the brutal nature of war and the stark contrast between the opposing forces. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and I wish you all an enjoyable listening experience.
Akainu is still releasing more lava fire rain, his arms stretched out towards the sky. Like a cannonball, continuously flying out fist-shaped lava meteor shower, covering the sky and earth. The frequency was so high that it almost covered the entire sky. Lava falls inside the bay on the ice, serious injuries. This is what inhuman strength ... double quotes. Can't you use up all the lava, Dan? Akainu fruit must be developed to the limit. The ice is all melted. The pirate group wanted to escape. But there is basically no place to hide. Face the lava, Akainu. If not, then luck will come, and it will not enter the lava strike range. Once entering the coverage range, only physical strength can stop it. Running away is of no use, because under their feet is ice. The ice melts. They will fall into the sea. If they are fruit ability users, they will drown directly. But even if you don't eat fruit people, falling into the sea later, also not pleasant. The capital sea water was boiled by lava. There is basically no place to hide ... double quotes. So hot, so hot. It's basically like entering boiling water. This is the general force. Countless pirates let out desperate screams. Akainu, one person, can completely destroy tens of thousands of miscellaneous fish. Once the meteor fire dance comes out, even if it faces tens of thousands of pirates, it can still burn them all to death. This is the headquarters Navy's highest combat power, the Navy's general force, each one. Also can bring the end of the world people right now. Akainu lava also hit towards the white whale. This ship carried Whitebeard passengers for decades. This moment is welcoming disaster. Whitebeard was not on the boat. At this moment he also turned his head to look towards the white whale. Want to be lava, just like that destroyed. The Navy is fully prepared. Want to completely cut off pirates' lifeline. Under normal circumstances, the white whale would be destroyed at this moment. But at this moment, something changed. That is Kaido on the ship. The white whale is in the bow of the boat, faced with falling down numerous lava meteor rain. Kaido raises his weapon. The 8 precepts, I also think, play some baseball. Kaido waits for the lava to approach. Afterward, swing the bamboo stick. Bisashoku Haki, clinging to the Wolf-Tooth staff, making it even more unbreakable, falling down to the fist-shaped lava rain, was hit back by Kaido with a stick, lava back direction, heading towards the Navy headquarters square. Boom, lava falls to the ground, then explodes, immediately burned to death many nearby elite Marines. Also in the original place continue to burn up. But Kaido's actions did not end there. There is so much lava falling anyway. Kaido fought back one by one, Navy headquarters, on the square. This place was hit by a very serious lava rain. Every piece of lava that falls can explode and burn to death several people, even dozens of people. But so much lava was beaten back by Kaido simultaneously. This Kaido guy has accurate aim when attacking lava. Do not randomly attack any locality, but it is specialized in choosing many local people to fight back. In a flash, the Navy lost several hundred men. The number of injured people is more than 1,000, even several thousand. Lava, the great lava General Akainu was beaten back by that Kaido guy. Damn it, Kaido, fully utilize Akainu's great general's ability. Disgusting, this is bullshit. Run fast, everyone disperse. That bastard Kaido specializes in picking places with many people to beat. Everyone disperse. Save me. I want to burn to death. Navy headquarters on the square, the place a piece of groan. From the execution platform, the eyes look out. Many places burn fire. The lava that fell to the ground in that instant was like fireworks blooming, both beautiful and terrifying. Disgusting, false, Sengoku gritted his teeth. However, he did not order Akainu to stop. Meteor fire dance, at the same time burning the sea and killing soldiers. The more at the sea burning dead pirates. Anyway, Kaido sent the lava back, only to the white whale's nests. More lava. Or pirate attack, this battle damage compare. Sengoku can still accept it more or less. Just, upset is definitely upset, but it was very fast. Sengoku immediately realized he was wrong. Pirates in numbers, not much navy. Kaido hits back at the lava despite the lack. But it can't stand a large number of navy people and density. Plus that bastard Kaido, he's aiming accurately. It's not a random attack. A little bit at most can even burn to death dozens of people, even more than 100 people. But pirates are relatively few, and there is no large navy. Plus Akainu's aim is off, releasing so much lava at once, it's impossible to aim accurately. Can only randomly attack, look down, on the contrary, it is still the navy, with more casualties. Why is that possible? Sengoku Buddha glared. Let Akainu unleash his ultimate attack and destroy the pirates. Fight to the end, the navy casualties are more serious. Stop, Akainu. Sengoku could only give orders. That is, Akainu attacks, stop. His face was gloomy, looking over the group of marine casualties. Finally looked angrily towards Kaido. This bastard actually used his own lava to cause such great casualties to the navy. Simply hateful, angry, the white whale protects. Akainu's attack also stopped. It was Kaido who stopped the marines from attacking. Old man, Kaido really came to help ... double quotes. Completely overturned my perception of him. The Whitebeard pirates, observing this situation later, were all cheering with joy. Just now Akainu meteor fire dance. It was really scary. It's like the end of the world has come. Unexpectedly, Kaido successfully blocked it. As expected of the world's strongest creature, too strong. Countless people immediately became extremely admiring of Kaido. Whitebeard also looked silently towards Kaido. If it weren't for Kaido, I wouldn't have the white whale. The lower ranks, also because of Akainu's lava, suffered heavy losses. Kaido prevents all of this. I owe him a favor. If there is a chance, I will answer, no way. Whitebeard remembered his previous interaction with Kaido. This guy said he wanted to destroy the navy, and also wanted to destroy the world government, Gorosei, at that time. Whitebeard looked down on him, feeling that Kaido was seeking death. If the world government was that easy to deal with, Rocks would have succeeded that year later. Whether it was Roger or Whitebeard, neither dared to declare a full-scale war with the world government. At most, they would do some small-scale destruction and provoke a little, and then they would know that the world government would find it difficult to deal with. But now, Whitebeard changed his mind. If I can survive, leave the Navy headquarters. Kaido also confirmed straight towards the Holy Land. I do not mind leaving this crippled body, giving up my life to help him. After all, I am already sick and don't have many years left to live. Giving up my life in the Holy Land to help Kaido is very profitable. Right now, fire, Sengoku gave the order. Meteor fire dance will be used by Kaido. The Navy also has a backup plan. Surrounding the wall, each large caliber cannon was now aimed at the pirates inside the bay. Fires a barrage of shells. However, the damage these shells bring is much smaller, far inferior to Akainu meteor fire dance. Even if the pirates are not very strong, they can still destroy these cannonballs in midair without causing any damage to them. Chaotic, calm down a bit. And a Whitebeard also turned to look at the surrounding wall. Use the Gura Gura no Mi's power and attack the surrounding wall. The Navy immediately became urgent, boom, surrounding the wall. Whitebeard's earthquake force struck, emitting a fierce sound. The aftershocks penetrated the surrounding walls and hit the square, causing many Marines to lose their balance and fall face down. But in the end, there is no problem surrounding the wall. Whitebeard can't even break our specially crafted siege wall. To good, the pirates were successfully trapped. The Navy side immediately cheered. If you know who to guard against, it's Whitebeard. So surrounding the wall naturally has a purpose of production. Thanks to the past few decades of intelligence collection and understanding of Whitebeard. Surrounding the wall, successfully blocking Whitebeard's forces, Sengoku also could not help but let out a sigh of relief. This form can completely trap and destroy Whitebeard. The battle plan is going well. Sengoku Buddha ordered, now immediately execute. Port Gas D. Ace is executed. Pirates are in a hurry. Looking for breakthrough surround method. But the most urgent, no one can beat Monkey D. Luffy. But at that time everyone was desperately looking for a route. Get out of the way. A voice suddenly rang out from the bow of the white whale. Everyone, move aside. Don't block my way. Listen. Everyone immediately looked for the source of the sound, Kaido. Then everyone, from Kaido's frontal direction, desperately escaped. Kaido gave way to a completely empty area. Straight to the surrounding wall. Kaido. Dynamic. Kaido. Sengoku, who had already calmed down and thought that his battle plan was successful, suddenly became nervous. He wouldn't want to destroy the surrounding wall, right? Whitebeard couldn't do it, so he probably can't do it either. It wasn't just Sengoku who had such worries. There is no one in the Navy who is not worried. The three generals' eyes were filled with surprise. Garp also looked up at Kaido. Kaido dispels all pirates. Intended to attack the surrounding wall head-on. Is it really trustworthy? That specially made wall could even block Whitebeard's attack. Where does Kaido get his trust from? Must know, here. Whether it's Garp or Akainu, they don't have the confidence to break this wall of encirclement. Pirates, on the other hand, were also nervous and looking forward to seeing it. On the emotional side, they hope Kaido can break the siege wall and open a path for everyone to rush to the square. But reason also told them that Whitebeard had failed, not even leaving a single trace or crack on the surrounding walls. Under this kind of situation, Kaido wants to break this surrounding wall. Isn't that a bit crazy? Whitebeard looked back silently. Being an insider, Whitebeard is more obvious than others. That layer surrounding the wall is solid level. Absolutely not ordinary material. The technology used to make it was also very special. Even if it was said that Vegapunk had helped, Whitebeard would believe it. Gura Gura no Mi force. At this level surrounding the wall, in a moment was dissolved, disappeared, wanting to break it. At least Whitebeard didn't have any confidence. I'm old anyway. But in recent decades, it has also been thoroughly researched by the Navy. When others are very familiar with your strength and abilities and understand them, you cannot help but accept that a large number of effective countermeasures against you will appear. This is an inevitable thing. The white whale is in the bow of the boat. Kaido transforms into his beast form, incarnation of Azure Dragon. As a legendary magical beast, it brings great pressure. Afterward, Kaido in the mouth, condensed fire. Whitebeard could not break the siege. That was very normal. Anyway, it's considered the peak period. Whitebeard's full power attack was probably around King level X. Although very strong, but in the end not invincible, just not the champion. The general can find a way to target him, after all. On one side of the world government, there is that unimaginable scientist like Vegapunk. In the end, Whitebeard encountered difficulties before the siege, which was also very normal. Kaido is different. I get the reward system later. Attack power. Reach champion level. Champion. These two words are important, not just said casually. As long as these two words are carried, Unless the other party is also invincible, otherwise there is no possibility of having any means to stop it. This layer surrounds the wall. Defensive power reaches invincible, not possible. Whitebeard is the world's strongest man. His attack power is not yet invincible, so how can invincibility be so easy to achieve? This layer surrounds the wall. If the defense force reaches invincible, thus, the Navy with its forces could have destroyed all the pirates. But the Navy has not done this kind of thing. Having said that, they don't have the ability to reach the invincible level so easily, so this layer surrounds the wall. In front of Kaido, there was no way to form any obstacles. Hot breath. Kaido condensed flames in his mouth and sprayed them out in a straight line. Roadside ice spread, all melted. The sea water boiled instantly, then at the evaporation quantity, the surrounding temperature suddenly increased a lot. Far apart from each other, suddenly sweat profusely, as if in a sauna. Weak person, bent by excess heat of fire into serious injury. There is no way. We have already informed them to flee, and the injuries clearly show that they cannot be avoided. Some people jumped into the sea water to avoid the high temperature, but ended up entering boiling water, even the place on the long picture. Sengoku felt the change in temperature. Forehead cannot help sweating. How high is this temperature? Kaido's breath was hot. When did he get so strong? It was already tense. Kaido was able to break the surrounding wall. Now it was even more tense. In a moment, the flames collided with the surrounding wall first. There was a loud bang, raising up wave after wave of heat waves, sweeping across the bay and square. Then, surrounding the wall, everyone anxiously looked down, start a little bit dissolved. Like a block of ice, being continuously attacked by the flames, the surrounding walls were gradually penetrated, and gradually became lower. The Navy was in chaos in an instant. The surrounding wall began to dissolve. Kaido attack, it works. Panic-stricken screams erupted in the square. Of course they are scared, thus the solid surrounding the wall dissolves. Once the wall is breached, the fire will burn them all to death. In return, anyone facing this kind of situation would be afraid. Whitebeard was shocked. He looked over at the gradually dissolving surrounding wall, full of eyes, hard to believe. Such a solid surrounding wall, yet in front of Kaido it looks weak. Kaido's fire. How high is the temperature? I don't have much confidence in facing this move. Attack power, too high. I'm afraid that Rox is even stronger than that year. The place on the picture is long. We are like decades behind him. Garp at this moment, his face gloomy, opened his mouth. Kaido's intelligence is far stronger than ours. Listen, Sengoku's face was also extremely dark. They are extremely clear about what Kaido's moves are and how strong they are. In terms of intelligence, there are many collections. In fact, Kaido's every move, they all know it well. There is also CP. They collect intelligence about Kaido, and even surpass the Navy. Occasionally they will also share intelligence with the Navy, so Kaido, this move hot breath, should have what effect? They should be obvious. Just like with a Whitebeard, he really couldn't break through the surrounding wall. But the truth is, there are more than just mistakes. Kaido, this is showing off his strength. It's like the Navy hasn't collected intelligence from him in decades. Far from inner awareness, much stronger than many times. No wonder even that old man Garp, with his face dark, was so sincere. This is clear. The Navy's intelligence advantage over pirates and its suppression power are weakening. No, one could even say. Collapsing Aokiji Sengoku Buddha at this moment summons the great general. Hear that, again, Aokiji didn't need to say anything. He left the place, Ice Age. Aokiji's body continuously exuded cold air. Surrounding the wall is being frozen solid. Eliminate Kaido's fire attack. At the same time, cold air spread out to warm the flames, trying to extinguish Kaido's hot breath of fire. The surrounding temperature also dropped. Very relaxing, General. Take action. At the frozen wall surrounding, The Navy, running from all directions, at this moment, stopped one after another, looking over the changing situation. "Aokiji, can you stop Kaido?" But reality also answered them immediately. "Impossible. The surrounding ice wall is rapidly melting, approaching the hot breath of cold, and evaporating without touching it." Aokiji did not stop like that. He was prolonging the use of his devil fruit, releasing cold air to prevent Kaido from breathing hotly. Just like that, it dragged on for more than 10 seconds, but it seems like hours have passed. Aokiji's face changed. "Everyone, hide." Aokiji also rarely got to pay attention once, very solemnly shouted towards all the Marines. Boom! The voice fell silent for less than 2 seconds. The surrounding wall was completely penetrated. The flames shot towards the square, melting along the ground, raising the temperature, burning and even killing countless Marines. But the hot breath still did not stop. "Head towards the execution platform. Straight to Akainu and Kizaru. There's also Garp and Sengoku." The surrounding wall was broken. "It's hot, so hot. I'm melting. Who will save me?" The Navy side cried out incessantly, quite a distance from the Navy. In the distance, shock can be seen through the surrounding wall afterward. They were even more shocked to see Kaido breathed hotly. "Devour the generals, devour Garp and Sengoku, devour the entire execution platform. The fire continues to rage." Death penalty behind the stage. Kia wrote Navy towards Navy headquarters main architecture. Was pierced by the flames in an instant. Navy headquarters burned to the ground, above those buildings, such as the marshal's office and so on. This moment all came crashing down. Turn into a ruin, Kaido breathed hotly. Across the entire Navy headquarters, this is not the point. The focus is on the general, the marshal, Garp. They were also devoured by the flames along with the execution platform. Mr. Sengoku, Mr. Garp, General Akainu, General Kizaru. Won't they all be burned to death? The Navy has the highest combat power. Should we wipe it out? The headquarters' countless elite Marines were now looking at that sea of fire in despair. The fire burned up. There was no reaction inside. Will it really be Kaido, one move to destroy everything? Everyone looked over in shock at the execution platform location. There is only fire left there now, the fire, still without any changes. It is clear that the people inside are not trying to resist. That is all burned to death. The slow Navy could not wait for the Navy's highest combat power to rush out. The atmosphere of despair was thick. But the Navy was worried and scared. Pirate aspect, this moment is the same. Although the surrounding wall was destroyed, it was a good thing for the pirates. Especially the Navy headquarters, which was conveniently destroyed by Kaido. This is even better, but the main purpose of this pirate trip is to rescue Ace. Kaido with one hot breath destroyed the headquarters and devoured the Navy's highest fighting power. Don't burn Ace to death too. If it is really like this, so their feelings will be extremely complicated. Don't know how to face Kaido. In the end, should he be seen as an enemy or as a friend, completely clueless, Ace? Will it be okay? Won't you also be burned to death? This fire under will not devour and purify everything. Absolutely don't let anything happen, Ace. The pirate group was a little nervous. In the sky, just now released Ice Age, which jumped into the sky Aokiji. He now also had a serious expression, looking over at the execution platform, also in this process, slowly descend. What kind of power is this? Aokiji, after landing, looked back towards the Navy headquarters. The originally tall and clear, representing the entire Navy's reputation, has now completely collapsed. This island, previously from afar one could see the towards Navy on the large building, intimidating pirates. Now, from afar it is difficult to distinguish, in the end, which place it is. What a mess! Kaido Aokiji was deeply moved, this force. So Whitebeard is much more scary, beluga whale above. Doflamingo, at this moment, eyes and mouth wide open, he knew Kaido was powerful. But he didn't think Kaido was this terrifying headquarters directly raised by fire. And the monster that devoured the Navy still exists. Kaido, simply invincible. I hug this thigh, it's numb. Whitebeard kept staring at the execution platform, as if he could see the sea of fire. Afterward, Hot Breath slowly calmed down again. Kaido's move finished. The fire is burning for a long time after start extinguishing. But the devoured execution platform also appeared again. Everyone finally saw the situation in the fire only met the death penalty. Perfect without any damage, but Sengoku Buddha. He is now in his original human form, transformed into a golden Buddha. Golden light was released from around the body, protecting the entire execution platform. Also brought the General, Ace, and Garp under protection. To the point of being in the fire, burned for half a day, the execution platform has no incident. Highest fighting power, no problem. On the naval side, the feeling of despair faded. They once again raised hope. Sengoku, Garp, and the generals were all fine. But there is not even a single point of damage. Looks like there's still a relatively high probability of defeating Kaido. Navy morale greatly restored. Marshal Sengoku, how did you turn into a great Buddha? That's a Zoan type, Hido no Mi, mythical Zoan, model, great Buddha. Same as Kaido, both are mythical Zoan A, oh my god. It is completely a true Buddha. Golden light, bless the execution platform. Many people in the Navy saw Sengoku Buddha's abilities for the first time, anyway. Sengoku rarely makes a move these years. This great Buddha's demeanor is incomparably shocking. If it is a person of related faith, I'm afraid they will not be able to help but kneel down. Pirate aspect, this moment is also a complicated emotion. Ace is fine, this makes them feel much more secure. Ace is fine as long as nothing happens, but the Navy, the group with the highest combat power, had no problems, which also made people feel uncomfortable. They looked at Sengoku Buddha's posture. The golden light around him completely blocked Kaido's flames. It is a pity that the Navy's highest combat power does not have anything at the same time, also a little scared. What a terrifying posture this is ... just like the Buddha's descent. If he starts fighting, we'll scare people to death. Beluga whale above, mythical Zoan A. Kaido looked at Sengoku model. Great Buddha, his heart was slightly moved, and said, I do not want the evil demon species. Any creature that does not exist in reality, but only exists in legends, myths, or just randomly speaking, can exist under the name of mythical Zoa and ... double quotes. Whatever form of the Hido no Mi, mythical Zoan, Amaterasu heavenly illumination great god appears later. I also do not expect it, or else Hido no Mi, mythical Zoan, Zeus form. 800 years ago, wasn't it a battle between the gods? Everyone ate all kinds of divine mythical Zoan fruits, so they called themselves gods, and their descendants also considered themselves superior to others. Even Luffy, this Paramecia fruit type representative, transformed into the mythical Zoan, Nika form, and became a god, the sun god. All are gods or Buddhas. This Zoan type fruit me, mythical Zoan, azure dragon form. In front of gods and Buddhas, naturally has no place, so I'll leave early. Kaido silently sighed, One Piece world. In the end, it was a war of gods, but it does not matter. Before, Kaido, azure dragon, was not worthy to be compared with a god. Kaido is now a transmigrator, and has also eaten the Gomu no Mi fruit. In the future, he will sooner or later awaken and become the sun god. He is also a god. Having an entrance ticket to this world's peak is not important. As for me, hot breath, not giving the Navy its highest fighting power did any damage. This is very normal. After all, the hot breath was attacking the surrounding wall, and it had already consumed a large amount of energy. Being blocked by Aokiji also consumed some energy. The remaining energy, after breaking through the surrounding wall, was largely scattered everywhere behind the platform, destroying the Navy headquarters, the real falling place on the long-form energy. Actually, there is not much. But Sengoku was once a great general, and is now a marshal. Such a small power block is to normal. It's weird that it can't be stopped. But when Kaido looked at Sengoku, he was moved by the mythical Zoan. Sengoku's body emitted a golden light, which now dimmed and retracted, but at Sengoku's side. A figure, changed from the previous Loki, at this moment stand up, destroying the entire Navy headquarters. What a mess, Kaido! A voice carrying anger echoed the Navy headquarters. Everyone followed the sound and looked back. The Navy's morale immediately skyrocketed. Hero Garp, Lieutenant General Garp, furious. The Navy was extremely excited. Garp. This is the legend that once fought with the Pirate King Roger, pushed Roger into a desperate situation countless times, and finally won. Roger took the initiative to confess. Of course it was considered Garp's victory. Everyone is talking about Roger now, all are trembling, thinking that is an extraordinary terrorist legendary criminal. But Garp, is alive and well before everyone's eyes, can restrain Roger, stronger than the Pirate King. Can the Navy not be agitated? Garp spoke up angrily. The Navy was excited to the extreme. Can't let you mess around anymore. Garp immediately clenched his fist. From disappearing on the spot, leave behind a remnant image. When he appeared again, Garp was already in the air. Angered Mr. Garp. Aokiji saw this scene and immediately ran away, even though Garp is old. But the strength is not weakened because of that. That kind of terrifying strength is still deeply engraved in Aokiji's mind. I don't want to be affected. The other two generals also looked back in surprise. How long has it been since Mr. Garp made a move? Before facing Roger, there was nothing more attentive than this. The generals had all followed Garp to chase Roger, and Garp then and now were in complete agreement. How rare, Garp attentive posture. Lieutenant General Garp, the Marines, even more excited, looked up at Garp's figure in the sky. Pirates are afraid of many I kill. Derive this legendary monster. Whitebeard calmly looked at Garp. In the heart it is not difficult to accept that it is fake. I am old and sick. How is Garp still at his peak? Same year as before, not weakened at all. Is it embarrassing or not? If this world really has a creator, then that damn creator must be especially biased towards Garp. The white whale is in the bow of the boat. Kaido looked up at Garp. Garp's expression was extremely angry. His face was dark. I destroyed the Navy headquarters, leaving the headquarters building in ruins. It seems that I really ran into Garp's reverse scale. 1 second later, in the sky, Garp let out an angry roar. Fist bone strike, boom. A punch from the air, smashed down, obviously in the sky. The distance between Kaido and them was probably more than 100 meters, even several hundred meters. Covered in haki, it was like a storm, sweeping away an extremely terrifying power. No devil fruit, it is also possible for a punch to cause far-reaching, large-scale damage. Garp's body and haki have both been developed to some kind of limit. Kaido's emotions were expanding. Contact with Legend A, kill him, you can get the branch reward. I also tried it out at the right time, invincible attack power, effective against Garp. Jump up 1, waving the Wolf-Tooth staff. He welcomed Garp's attack, roaring both contacts, forming shock waves within several hundred meters. Garp's bare-handed attack is similar to Whitebeard's Guragura no Mi. Old man hangs up. Garp Bisashoku Haki, developed to an unbelievable level. He uses haki, 1 punch, the shockwave can destroy a city. Absolutely no less than Whitebeard's trick. At this moment, the shockwave of the fist bones struck, immediately forming a huge shockwave that covered the entire bay. The shockwave expanded, sending countless people flying and losing their lives. It also raised layer upon layer of huge waves on the sea surface. Those huge warships that looked like moving towns were shaking at this moment, and even overturned on the sea surface. The pirates ran in all directions. The movement was slow, and very quickly his feet left the ground, and he was sent flying by the shock wave surrounding the wall. Many pirates were sent flying after colliding above. Someone was hit in the sky, then fall down into the sea. For a moment, it seemed like pirate rain was falling, all pirates falling from the sky. The shockwave also affected Whitebeard, but Whitebeard just blew a breath, and the shockwave blew it away. Beluga whale above, what is this force? Doflamingo, at this moment, firmly grasped the boat. The white whale's moorings were violently shaking, as if entering a raft inside a storm. A punch sent a shockwave down, causing the sea surface to roll crazily. The white whale's moorings were about to be overturned. This is the power of the hero Garp, who once competed with Roger. These legendary levels exist, each one is truly worthy of its reputation. Doflamingo at this moment received Great Fear, which is the most central shock wave. The one who wants to be influenced is, of course, still Kaido. Others are affected by the aftershocks. Garp's main target is only Kaido, this moment. Kaido used the Volfang Club to welcome Garp's attack. Not even using Haloshoku cover, not using Haki, not even using combo moves, Kaido is very simple. At normal attack, use normal attack against Garp. Because I really want to see how my invincible level attack power is. But effective also made Kaido extremely startled. Garp's attack is very powerful, at least around King level. Kaido had previously fought with King level X attack power for a long time, so his judgment was still very experienced. But I only used a normal attack, and when I received his move, I actually had a kind of rock-smashing feeling. Garp's attack to me did not create any pressure at all. This is the championship. The benefits are a bit beyond comprehension. Afterward, Kaido continued to swing his Volfang. Garp sent out this shock wave, and it was immediately disintegrated from within, chaotic energy after. Boom! Garp charged forward, instantly like a balloon being blown up, exploding. This result made Garp extremely surprised. It was also the first time someone, like blowing up a balloon, completely covering Kaido's figure. The Navy of course saw the meeting day. Kaido was punched to death by Garp. But obviously, things couldn't possibly be that simple. Their expectations were extremely naive. Lieutenant General Garp, you can't just casually injure Kaido ... double quotes. It's the 4 emperors after all. But the 4 emperors are just 4 emperors in the end. Lieutenant General Garp has competed with the Pirate King Roger before. In the end, among the 4 emperors, Lieutenant General Garp will definitely win. The Navy side remains fully confident. Inside the bay, Garp immediately landed. Kaido defeated Garp with the next move. At this moment, his eyes fixed on Garp, saying, as expected of a hero Garp, he is indeed formidable. Now it's my turn to make a move, finished speaking. Kaido had disappeared on the spot, appeared in front of Garp. Kaido had previously increased his movement speed to king level speed. Movement, the vast majority of people are basically not visible. In their eyes, Kaido seemed to be hiding, disappearing from the original place in a flash. Whether it's Marco, the 7 warlords of the sea, the Navy lieutenant admirals, these people, their reaction speed could not keep up with the speed of a king level. Only a general of human level can react. So fast, Sengoku was immediately startled. Kaido's speed was also beyond his intelligence analysis. Another unexpected event, Akainu was silent, but his eyes were wide open. This speed ... will be able to compare with Kizaru soon. How did it get so close ... Aokiji was startled. Fast attack speed, not difficult to explain. But the speed of movement is also so fast, this is not easy to train ... at least Aokiji, Akainu. and Whitebeard are still far from having this kind of speed, so it can be seen that training speed is difficult. As the fruit exploited the cause, Kizaru also changed that cowardly, weak, and scattered personality. At this moment, he was extremely attentive, looking intently at Kaido, at the same time judging and researching the reason. Why can there be such an amazing speed? Kizaru speed, so now Kaido is even faster. But that's because he ate the Pika Pika no Mi fruit, which can turn into light. So it's fast, and faster than Kaido, but Kizaru, also not at any time, can be as fast as light. He must turn into light, then he can have terrifying speed. If you maintain human form. So his speed is much lower than Kaido's current speed, so look. Even the Pika Pika no Mi fruit cannot guarantee that it can always suppress Kaido in terms of speed. So the problem comes, how did Kaido train this kind of speed? In the world of One Piece, the most difficult thing to train is movement speed. From Whitebeard, the world's strongest, but moving as slow as a black turtle, can be seen speckled, Kizaru senses danger, wondering why Kaido is so fast, but basically cannot think of the possibility. The Azure Dragon fruit should not have increased Kaido's movement speed that much. This guy, how many secrets does he have? Kizaru was silent, in the sky. Garp was of course able to react in time. On his fist, Bisashoku Haki covered, Kaido raised his hand in front of him. Kaido suddenly appeared in front of him. Garp was just a little surprised in his heart. It did not affect his movements. Almost instinctively he started to attack Kaido. His fighting instinct was terrifyingly strong. Completely would not be affected by any situation, fighting movements even for a second. Kaido's Wolf Tooth Club also smashed through. Still no use of Haki, also no use of tricks, normal attack. Garp Bisashoku and his iron fist clashed. The world suddenly became quiet. Kaido and Garp also stood still for a moment. But only those involved know it well. Both sides were continuously pouring in strength, from fists to clubs. This moment fell into a stalemate. The Wolf Tooth Stick and Iron Fist collided, creating a huge explosion. Round after round, the aftershocks shot out in all directions. The clouds in the sky were all dispersed. In a blink of an eye, 10,000 miles were cloudless. The sea surface was full of big waves. The boat capsized. Damn it. Double quotes. Doflamingo was too scared. He also did not want to fall into the sea. Want to run, but cannot escape. Outward leading line. The aftershocks instantly broke all his nerves and even backfired on him, injuring him. Doflamingo, trapped in the capsized white whale's moat, had no way to leave. He could only watch the sea water continuously approaching, terrified to the extreme. Whitebeard's Haki remained intact. He remained motionless in place, his cloak swaying in the wind. But the pirates around him all flew up. There is also no need to enter the square from the surrounding wall gap. They flew directly into the large yard. The square also could not bear it. Although the surrounding wall blocked part of the shockwave, it only blocked part. The Navy also flew into the sky. Looking back from afar, it may be doubtful. This place is releasing a lot of pirates, Navy-shaped balloons or kites. Before that, the naval headquarters had been turned into ruins, and the ruins of the buildings were also scattered outside. Boom boom fell on the sea surface, creating countless foams. Garp and Kaido in the sky, right below is the sea surface. The sea water was continuously parting in all directions, forming huge waves that rushed towards the square, drowning many people and also causing many ability users to lose their abilities. And Kaido is under the sea, because they spread in all directions. Exposed seabed, many fish are stranded. They never thought in their whole life that they would run aground at the bottom of the sea. Then these fish were crowded with excess energy in the sky. Fighting with Garp, the fight lasted for about 20 seconds. Garp's expression suddenly changed. Victory or defeat is determined. The final strength is lower than Garp, consuming his strength. while Kaido still has endless power as if wanting to describe it. Garp lost his balance, falling from the sky, boom. Garp hit the square on the ground, lift up a lot of dust, let Kaido fall into the surrounding on the wall, look at the square. Because the two sides fighting ended, the Navy and pirates, after receiving the aftershocks, also gradually stopped. They looked around the wall, that was like a devil Kaido. Looking back at the square, that large patch of dust, everyone knew that Garp had just fallen there. Lieutenant General Garp lost. The Navy was terrified. Lieutenant General Garp. The Navy shouted loudly, extremely urgent. In the legendary Navy, Roger was pushed into desperate situations countless times. Will not be defeated by Kaido just like that, cannot. The Navy absolutely cannot accept this kind of situation. I don't believe it can be like that. Lieutenant General Garp. There is no way something can happen, Mr. Garp. Aokiji was also nervous. That lazy face showed a shocked expression. Once followed Roger to fight. Mr. Garp has never experienced this kind of great loss, right? Look back at Kaido. Aokiji's face was full of confusion. When Kaido fought Hawkeye just now, he wasn't that strong. Aokiji opened his mouth. Listen. Akainu immediately nodded, agreeing. It seems like he was holding back his strength when fighting Hawkeye. That's scary, Kizaru said. Who knows if he is still gathering strength right now? Listen, the three generals were silent. Authentic. When the Hawkeye fought, its fighting strength was already extremely high, after all. Hawkeye is a for Emperor's level existence. Kaido deals with Hawkeye. Indeed extremely famous, Kaido Yonko status, with the title of the world's strongest creature. Completely unlike hiding ignorance, should have shown all strength, now bring Garp down. The general had to admit, this Kaido guy was hiding his ignorance. He was unusually strong, Garp. Sengoku looked across the ground. That dusty patch filled the air. He also didn't have to worry whether Garp would be defeated or even killed. Death is impossible. Sengoku was quite worried. Garp just didn't use his full strength. Could it be that Garp, in front of Kaido, couldn't even withstand a single blow? Hey Navy, how do you want to resist Kaido? Whitebeard looked at Kaido's back. Once again shocked by Kaido's strength, this guy shows off abilities that surpass common sense and perception. Beat Garp to such a miserable state. Whitebeard in this life also met once. That one is Rocks. Rocks, one person, one move, turned Roger and Garp upside down, beating them until they were in a terrible state. But at that time, Garp and Roger were not yet at their peak strength. Later on, Garp fully matured. Never seen Garp struggle like that. Now, Kaido actually used a stick, giving Garp such a miserable appearance. Whitebeard was also surprised. Lord Kaido. Doflamingo, he was extremely lucky. The white whale did not capsize in the end. After all, it was Whitebeard's ship. He looked over at the surrounding wall, Kaido's back, opened his mouth wide in shock for a moment, then regained his composure, extremely excited. Lord Kaido, invincible. Garp, that kind of monster. All were defeated by Kaido with one blow. What is this power? Kaido's strength is actually above that year's Pirate King Roger. Everyone knows anyway, Garp is old. But his strength has not weakened. He still has that year's ability. He is equivalent to Roger. Now that Garp was casually toppled, it could be understood that the Pirate King Roger was overturned by Kaido with one strike. It's not hard to understand why Doflamingo's face was flushed with excitement at this moment. Grandpa. Even Luffy was worried. He came here to save Ace. To save Ace, he didn't care about anything else, including his own life. This kind of reckless level, when following Eni's lobby to save Robin. There was nothing that could distract him. He also didn't want to hear anything, only accepting one thing, return Robin to me. But now, the only thing left to do is return Ace to me right now. I can't help but worrying about Garp being overturned. Beluga whales swam alongside. Pirates, save Joker Buggy. At this moment Joker Buggy on the white whale's deck resting. Before that, Aokiji cut off his image, holding the phone. The only image of Buggy was transmitted, all frozen. Duplicate phones freeze at the same time. Joker Buggy also freezes up. Later a Kainu magma melted the ice and boiled the sea water. Joker Buggy falls into the sea. The ice on the body melted. Until now was rescued by a family member, but Joker Buggy struggled like that. He also could not help but start to worrying his prestige. Frozen by Aokiji, won't the pursuers find out that I'm very weak? They won't just leave me like that, without their support. The future 7 warlords of the sea, 4 emperors, Pirate King, the king of the world. This path of advancement would no longer be possible. That is, Joker Buggy anxiously looked towards his pursuers. The results are visible again. The pursuers, sharp-eyed, glanced over at Buggy, as expected of Captain Buggy, completely inheriting Pirate King Roger's strength. Captain Buggy will definitely become the 2nd Pirate King. The followers, excited and moved, shouted loudly ... Buggy was stunned. What happened? We, the followers, what are we thinking? What happened? What made them develop this kind of closed brain? My reputation is not affected. Afterward, Joker Buggy understood the reason. Kaido had previously requested to go to a battle with Buggy. Buggy knelt down and begged for forgiveness, using One Piece as a promise to save his life from Kaido. When two people are perfect without any harm, return at the same time. The pursuers have already judged Buggy to be on the same level as Kaido. But now, Kaido one stick, overturned Garp. So that's clear, same level as Kaido, Joker Buggy is evenly matched. Captain Buggy can also overturn Garp in one move. What kind of terrifying force is this? It's just inheriting Roger's strength. The student is better than the teacher, Roger is superior. I believe Captain Roger Underground will definitely feel proud of Captain Buggy. Captain Buggy, lead us, conquer the Grand Line. King of the Pirates, King of the Pirates, King of the Pirates. The suitors even began to take liberties because of Buggy's ascension. Empty head Buggy, the whole person is a dream. Garp, that monster, overturned by Kaido. Buggy was once Roger's crewmate. How terrifying Garp is. He is very clear from his own experience. Many times Garp jumped into the sky. Several punches down, sea water flows back up to the sky. It was as if the sky and the sea were reversed. Joker Buggy on Roger's boat. Countless times the sky and earth spun, spinning and spinning, constantly spinning. Garp left a very deep impression on him. Absolutely a monster, that kind of monster. Can't beat Kaido now. Oh my god ... It seems that my previous promise to bring Kaido to find One Piece didn't go unfulfilled ... Double quotes. Buggy suddenly felt nervous in his heart. However, although I conquered the Grand Line with Captain Roger, I don't remember much about the entire route. I was just nervous and casually said something to save my life. Where can I find Raftel? Oh no, Kaido is so strong, he definitely has the ability to find Raftel. Then I found out I lied to him. I'm dead for sure. Buggy's scalp was numb. But feel, the followers worship eyes still. It's better to stabilize them first. Buggy put his hands on his hips and laughed heartily. Kid Kaido, well done. Looks like I don't need to make a move. Aokiji Kid Ice Block. Also let me feel very cool. A Kainu Hut Spring Boy service. I'm also very satisfied. Listen, the followers are more and more worshipful. Calling Kaido and the generals as a kid, as expected of Captain Buggy. So Captain Buggy was frozen by Aokiji on purpose. Of course it was intentional, Aokiji and Akainu. How could they hurt Captain Buggy? Even the stronger Garp Kaido couldn't do it, Captain Buggy. Buggy fame pulled up a paragraph again. Navy headquarters, on the square, the pirate group took the opportunity to kill Whitebeard also successfully reached the square, and Garp fell to the ground. The dust also dispersed, just beneath the ground. There is a pit-shaped Garp. Garp was slammed into the ground. At this moment, the Navy wanted to help. Approaching that Garp-shaped pit, look down and consider. This Marine immediately widened his eyes and said in surprise, "The ground ... the ground ... The ground was penetrated. Connect to the island under the ocean. Lieutenant General Garp, enter the sea." What? Hearing this sermon, the Navy immediately became agitated. According to them, Garp was beaten badly and sent to the bottom of the sea. No wonder for so long, Lieutenant General Garp has not made a move, but this word, falling into Kaido and Whitebeard's ears, it was a different meaning. Garp doesn't eat fruit, he fell into the sea, it's not a big deal, right? Disappeared for so long, so, making a pattern ... Garp. Kaido understood the reason and spoke calmly at this moment. But Kaido behind, surrounded under the cliff. A figure rushed out of the sea. Garp instantly rose up and appeared behind Kaido. Kaido turned around and looked back. Garp's fist landed on Kaido's face. Kaido's 2 feet are off the ground. Blown out, but the place on the picture is long. Grandfather Sengoku Buddha suddenly exerted his power, previously restored his human form. Now it has once again transformed into model, Great Buddha. Towards the air Kaido suddenly punched. The sharp shockwaves firmly landed on Kaido's body. Boom, Big Bang formation. Lieutenant General Garp is fine. He successfully ambushed Kaido. To good, Marshal Sengoku. Split blade, it also hit. Two legends continuously beat Kaido to the ground. Kaido is dead for sure. The situation suddenly changed, making countless people jump in surprise. Is this war? No one knows what will happen next second. Everything appears suddenly. War is like that anyway. No one will predict what they will do when they get there. Of course it's full of plots and schemes. As long as it's effective, as long as you can win, but aimed at Kaido to attack. There is no suspension yet. Bah, Kizaru flies into the air. 2 other generals also disappeared. Yasakani no Magatama. Meteor Fire Dance, Ice Age. 3 great generals, great move, come together. Garp also attacked again, Fistbone Strike. Kaido's place in this area is the forbidden zone of life. The 3 great generals, Garp, Sengoku, take turns launching attacks at that position. Just like that year rocks, enough to die 10 times. In the large yard, non-stop bombardment. At the moment when Garp, Sengoku, and the 3 generals repeatedly launched attacks at Kaido's location. The other navy, also not idle. Countless bullets, cannonballs, and power fruits were continuously attacking Kaido's direction. Leading to Kaido's position, the continued non-stop, endless bombardment continued. The frequency of the explosion is faster than that of a firecracker. The explosive power of the explosion shook every part of the Navy headquarters to varying degrees. Wave after wave of explosive air waves repeatedly spread out, enough to use crazy attack to describe. Garp's bone fist shockwave formed a large-scale explosion, followed by Sengoku's golden shockwave. Received countless light bullets covering Kaido's position. The sky and earth covered with lava, cold air also continuously penetrates through. Bullets and artillery shells are even more needless to say. But these attacks are not just one round. All hit the circulating skill, leading to Kaido's position. Every moment receiving the highest combat power attack. This is a never-ending scene. Let the pirates and the Navy feel how terrifying and hopeless it is, like an ordinary house. Bombarded by several artillery nests, the inside was terrifyingly cruel. But the Navy has the highest combat power, it must do so. Because they felt an extremely great threat from Kaido. The sense of danger is strong, must be reckless, use the greatest force and ability to take down Kaido. To loop circulation skills. Incidents also arise. The Whitebeard pirates were not just watching the show. It's just that they move slowly. This moment, Whitebeard, under the command of the captain, has gone to the general's position, preventing them from attacking Kaido, although they tried their best to stop it from the beginning. But because it was too slow, it still let the Navy cycle through 2 rounds of skills. Whitebeard under the command of a captain, Marco, also a mythical ZOA in immortal bird form. He received injuries and was able to recover. This kind of ability is extremely troublesome, although its combat power is not necessarily that high. But its survival ability is extremely strong. It can entangle and drag down a great general. 3 great generals' skill circulation was broken, but the other side. Whitebeard has long been on the move. His target is Garp. This moment also with Garp fighting, Whitebeard led the space quake. A white-covered ball appeared in his hand. The earthquake force attacked Garp. Garp's fist was covered in hockey and he welcomed Whitebeard. Boom, unlike the team captains and generals fighting. The team captains were weak. They mainly held back the general, so the battle was not very large scale, but Whitebeard and Garp are different. These are 2 monsters fighting. The field battle is bigger. They were fighting around the wall, again affects the surrounding under the cliff square. The ground was split into pieces everywhere. The sky also seemed to be breaking apart. This was a basic combat operation for existences above the 4 emperors. The sea is here too, Whitebeard, to prevent Garp from attacking Kaido. He used immense force. Furthermore, Whitebeard was not successfully ambushed by his subordinates. He was currently in a good condition, so he did not develop into unable to use his strength like usual, having difficulty taking even half a step. On the contrary, he cooperated with this moment's anger and erupted with a battle strength approaching his peak period, covering the stormy sky. The boat came around, enough to swallow half of the headquarters navy. The white whale also swayed again. Then the sea was rough around. Go to the main square. On the boat, sea turmoil. Whitebeard has caused another sea turmoil. We want to charge into the square. Want to be forced into battle, Captain Buggy. Buggy's pursuers were first terrified, then extremely excited. The great Buggy captain, it seems like he wants to be forced into fighting with the Navy. The Navy at this moment must be very scared. Captain Buggy at least want to kill a general. Famous throughout the world, Buggy was terrified. That Whitebeard guy, is he still this terrifying even though he's old? Just 1 punch, and it has already caused such a huge storm. The white whale was as big as a boat, but at this moment it was like a raft being swept away by the rough sea. Hiding on Whitebeard's ship, it turns out it's not safe either. Look back at the headquarters. Kaido was recently bombed by the Navy one after another, life and death unknown. I also do not want to face such terrorism Navy, but Buggy is afraid of the Navy. His subordinates, on the other hand, were not afraid at all, on the contrary shout out loud. Navy, the future pirate king, the great Captain Buggy has arrived. You despair, tremble. Captain Buggy, lead us to push the Pinghai headquarters away, destroy the Navy. The pursuers on the boat loudly announced the arrival of Captain Buggy. They were also full of fighting spirit, ready to cause a big fight at any time. Buggy's scalp was numb. At first. The white whale was swept away, and the Navy did not pay any attention to the people above. Now such a warning. At least 10 Navy lieutenant admirals threw their eyes over at Pacifista. Also quite a few locked up. Countless Marines raised their heads and looked back at the sound. Buggy, once a pirate captain, a mysterious pirate. Not long ago led countless prisoners to break out of the bottom of the sea prison, and extremely good at creating great trouble. Terrifying guy. Prepare for battle. The Marines, all looking at Buggy, began to prepare for battle. Looks like another troublemaker has arrived. The sea moved over. Aokiji thought the sea was frozen, but was stopped by Marco. It won't be that simple to let you have your way. Marco kicked away. Very enthusiastic, Aokiji raised his hand to stop it. The place on the picture is long, hideous. Sengoku saw below. Aokiji was being held back, looked back at the sea coming. Absolutely cannot let the sea come. That would cover half the headquarters, bringing great losses. That is, Sengoku could only attack himself. He jumped into the sky, incarnation model, Great Buddha. Against the rough sea struck out golden shock waves, compared to normal rooms. The shock wave was large enough to explode the sea before our eyes. Thinking of surpassing me and making a move, ask me before, Sengoku. Below, the sound rang out again. Sengoku frowned. Whitebeard. But the earthquake force has come. Seeing this, Sengoku was forced to change the direction of the shock wave, receiving Whitebeard's attack. And Whitebeard, surrounded on the wall 10 parts hockey. The two muscular arms exploded, shattering the air. The left and right hands used earthquake force, respectively striking towards Garp and Sengoku. Hit too, but not at a disadvantage. Everyone from that old and weak body peaked at this world's strongest man, peak period hockey and strength corner. The 3 individual forces, just like that, struggled for a while. Unexpected incident. While surrounding the wall, the iron fist hit Garp. He suddenly changed color and let out a vomiting sound. Take it, everyone saw Garp spit out a lot of fresh blood. Was blown away by Whitebeard's force. Bounced several times, fallen from the surrounding wall. Garp, Sengoku was so scared. Garp vomited blood and was blown away. How is that possible? Surrounded on the wall, Whitebeard and I are both terrified. He couldn't help but look at Garp's hand that attacked him. Not that much. When was I so good? One punch beat Garp until he vomited blood. What are you kidding? Whitebeard himself also widened his eyes. The struggle with Sengoku has ended. Sengoku turned to Garp, went to help and heal him. Mr. Garp, Aokiji was equally shocked. Beaten to the point of vomiting blood. Whitebeard fight? No way, Akanu's expression also changed. He and Garp went out and fought many battles. And also fought with Whitebeard. Whitebeard is absolutely not strong enough to beat Garp into this state with one punch. What happened? But Kizaru. He also did not play with the Whitebeard captain in front of him. Transform into light, disappear on the spot. Appears at Garp's side. Mr. Garp, Kizaru is very urgent. Garp is not only the strongest in the Navy, also the heroic Navy, the Navy on the outside. He fell. That is the face and the lining. Both sides are broken. The contrasting image is extremely large. Absolutely cannot let anything happen to Garp. Whitebeard got that much stronger, Sengoku asked from the side. Garp coughed up another mouthful of blood, then covered his chest. His condition not really good, said, it's not Whitebeard. It was before that Kaido guy beat him down. Internal injuries. So that one strike from Kaido's stick created such a big impact. Sengoku was shocked. I thought Garp was fine. Anyway, Garp later ambushed Kaido from behind. The original was just a struggle. Garp was actually injured by Kaido. Fortunately, Kaido was dealt with. We'll focus all our forces next and attack Whitebeard, Sengoku said. But the truth is not satisfying either. That's awesome. Navy, a voice suddenly rang out, ambushing me again. Taking turns bombarding me again. Both intelligence and strength are so strong, truly terrifying. Luckily I'm stronger than you guys, otherwise I would have really been injured just now. Everyone knows this sound. Almost no one here does not shiver. Kaido, he's alive. But again, nothing happened. How is that possible? Just now Sengoku, Garp, and the 3 generals took turns attacking. How could there be nothing wrong? Don't scare people for real. Kaido is fine. Each person was like being violently hit on the head. Many people's eyes were shaking. Before that, the Navy's highest combat strength group took turns bombing, causing dust and fog to disperse. Kaido's body was full of power and was completely intact. Just got ambushed by Garp. Kaido of course reacted in time. But there is no stopping it. because Kaido thought to test a little his defense power. The attack force was measured, and a stick knocked Garp down. Defense force also want to take the opportunity to test. Previously tested, Kizaru and Aokiji's ultimate moves came one after another. Kaido was not harmed at all. In front of Garp, there might be nothing wrong, no matter. But needless to say, Kaido's defense is incredibly high. But Garp was injured by me, and that punch from behind me had limited lethality. But even so, Kaido still felt like his defenses had reached their limit. If Garp exerts any more strength, I will be injured, so I still can't do it. Let the Navy's highest combat power randomly attack me. After that, Sengoku, Garp, and the three great generals took turns using their moves. Kaido is using all his strength to attack and block. Invincible level attack power, head-to-head, neutralizes every attack move of his own. That is, Kaido is currently completely unharmed. This Kaido guy, how unbreakable is he? The group with the highest fighting power took turns attacking, but he didn't even have any injuries. The Navy panicked, and Garp was equally surprised. He now covered his chest. Trying to stand up, a serious look on his face looked over at Kaido. Unable to think, under the alternating attacks, Kaido did not do anything, this time but annoying Garp. That stick just now didn't kill you, it only injured your internal organs. I was surprised. Kaido said, I originally thought that after a while, you would either die or be seriously injured. But you can still fight, very formidable. It's not that Kaido looks down on Garp. But it is the attack power itself, which is the invincible level. Garp is sturdy and strong, carrying him under. Being beaten to death by yourself is also very normal. Garp only suffered internal injuries. It can be said that this guy not only has astonishing attack power, but also defensive power and vitality. Equally not to be underestimated, also true. If not for the extremely full life force. Also not become as big as that millennium, strength but has not weakened, but Kaido said this. Answering many people's questions, it turns out that Garp was just knocked down by Whitebeard, not because of Whitebeard, but because Kaido had previously injured Garp's internal organs. Kaido's strength, and yet you still want to overwhelm Garp above. Whitebeard is also transparent. He looked at Kaido in surprise. That punch of mine really wasn't enough to make Garp vomit blood. Even if I go all out, it's still very difficult to beat Garp into this state. It turns out that Kaido had already injured Garp. This is too horrible. Kaido is stronger than Garp, stronger than Roger. Garp steadied his body, this moment clenched iron fist. I will not let pirates like you destroy the peace, Kaido. Garp's muscles skyrocketed. The will to fight is fierce. It seems that although injured, but still can fight, not lost that much fighting power. On one side, Sengoku, also taking the model, Great Buddha, prepares to go to war. Whitebeard jumped down from the cliff. Your opponent is me, Sengoku Garp. Whitebeard stopped him, right now. Marco was knocked down by lava from the sky. Diamond Jozu, also frozen later, dropped his arm. Aokiji and Akainu, together, entered the battlefield. Can't fish again. Aokiji reluctantly inside, appeared more and more attentive. Akainu was very sincere from beginning to end, so Marco was really difficult to deal with, but in the end, he could only drag it out for a while. The 5 most powerful marines are gathered. Whitebeard causes earthquake. It's 5. Kizaru turned into a beam of light and appeared beside Whitebeard. His fingers emitted light and aimed at Whitebeard. Suddenly, Kizaru's pupils condensed. Before his eyes, a wolf-tooth staff appeared, so fast. Completely unprepared, the wolf-tooth club appeared. Kizaru withdrew his move, his body turning into light, but it was too late. Boom, Kizaru was sent flying, hitting the wall with a loud bang. Prevent Whitebeard from causing an earthquake, failed. General Kizaru was blown away by Kaido. Just one move, fuck. Then how do you fight? Navy morale dropped greatly. Countless capital was because Kaido was completely unharmed that the marine morale had dropped. Now it was even more desperate. Sengoku and the others were also surprised. Kizaru can't avoid Kaido's attack. Can only face Whitebeard's attack head-on. These guys have the highest fighting power, but they won't be injured by an earthquake or anything like that. But the Navy headquarters was gradually sinking. This gives people quite a headache, but there is a good side too. The sea was shaken by the aftermath of Whitebeard and several of his highest fighting strength fighters. The white whale thus flew out, Joker, Buggy and the others fell down towards the square. Luffy and his men also arrived at the square, east. Luffy excitedly rushed to the execution platform. Stop these pirates. The Navy is everywhere fighting and killing pirates. But regardless of whether it was the Navy or the pirates, they all automatically stayed away from Kaido and his group on that battlefield. That is not a place where they can participate in fighting. Approach, all will be processed by the third party right now. Sengoku and his men's battle with Whitebeard has ended. The pirates are all charging. Someone is rushing to the execution platform. It's Straw Hat Luffy, Navy side, face ugly. Sengoku turned around and shouted, "Execute Ace immediately." Execute immediately. Now nothing is paid attention to. Only accept the death penalty for Ace. Then with Whitebeard there was Kaido, a decisive victory or defeat. Kill Ace first, destroy both the pirates' morale and their morale. The place on the picture is long. The two executioners took action. Kaido uses Heiwashoku Haki. The two executioners were stunned. Actually, Kaido didn't need to save Ace. No matter the main quest or the branch quest, there is no way to save Ace from this choice. But for Whitebeard to live a little longer, I want to make his mood a little better. Then just conveniently guarantee Ace's life. Anyway, it's just a Heiwashoku move. It's just a convenience. Luffy also wanted to fold out Heiwashoku at first. Kaido soon intervenes, resulting in Luffy being unable to awaken his haki. He was just stunned, then continued to rush to the execution platform. Disgusting, Kaido, Sengoku is angry. Use Heiwashoku Haki to stun those two executioners. You're good, it's not just those two people. On the square, a large part of the Navy was fainted, but this is not important. It is just a matter of seconds and hundreds of thousands of people being lost. Being stunned or waking up is not important to Kaido. Just do it easily. I'm going back to the execution platform. Sengoku wanted to move, but asked Whitebeard. The shock wave hit immediately. Sengoku's leg movement, Akainu and Aokiji want to help. But they all received Kaido's attack. Boots have invincible level attack power. Kaido won next, brought Aokiji and Akainu flying away. Together with Kizaru fell into one place, 3 generals. Was blown out to the battlefield one by one. General to me, is that weak? Kaido also did not think, can be so easy. That's right, now I can beat Garp is not difficult. Disgusting, Sengoku was angry. My move was prolonged by Whitebeard. The 3 generals were sent flying by Kaido one after another. Finally, Sengoku looked towards Garp. Garp looked over. That familiar figure rushed towards the execution platform. Even if he is my nephew, I will not show mercy. Garp moves. Hearing that, Sengoku let out a sigh of relief. It seems that in the big picture, Garp is still very trustworthy. Luffy must be stopped from saving Ace. Ace must die. But Sengoku chose to hold back Whitebeard. Kaido wants to take this opportunity to go over and kill Garp or Sengoku to receive some reward. But at this moment, Mago, behind Kaido, a cold voice rang out. Lava shockwaves from behind sneak attack. Kaido was surprised. Snake surely got hit by me with a stick. Akainu stood up so quickly. Also true, this guy was able to withstand a series of attacks from Whitebeard's rage, and even vomited blood. His resistance to attacks was not ordinary. General Akainu is here. Can Kaido be reversed? The Navy side looked on in despair, did not dare to hold big expectations. because just now Kaido, with one stick and one strike, sent 3 great generals flying, causing the common marines to be completely destroyed. Although Akainu immediately stood up and then protested, it also made it impossible for anyone to raise too much expectation. But the truth, just as they thought, Akainu uses Mego to sneak attack, was hit by Kaido's stick and sent flying again. Akainu was like a baseball, flying away. The Navy was stunned. Swatting a fly is not that simple. General Akainu flew away, just got hit by Kaido. That's all. The difference. Is it that big? The popular Navy mentality collapse. This is General Akainu. Among the 3 generals, he is the strongest. Within the Navy. Only Garp can guarantee to be stronger than him. Sengoku still can't beat Akainu. But this kind of existence was sent flying by Kaido with one stick, as easy as playing ball. The Navy wouldn't really want to be destroyed by pirates. The Navy trembled. Execution of Ace caused such a great disaster. Who would have thought of this? Akainu, Sengoku was equally shocked. The most important combat force under my command can't even withstand a single blow for the 3 generals. The person Sengoku was looking forward to the most was Akainu. Anyway, the other 2, Kizaru and Aokiji, are both good at fishing. Just look at them not being able to accomplish anything great. The most expected result for Akainu, but he was defeated just like that. But Sengoku was startled at that moment. Boom, Whitebeard is not a vegetarian either. While fighting with Whitebeard, he dared to be distracted. Sengoku stubbornly resisted Whitebeard's move. The great golden Buddha shook, almost being beaten back to its original form. After stabilizing his state, Sengoku fought back. However, his internal organs were boiling. Whitebeard's attack on him was really strong, this time but troublesome. Aokiji and Kizaru, at this moment, also stood up. They were all extremely shocked after being sent flying by Kaido. Akainu was also sent flying by a stick. They thoroughly realized the difference. Their strength is in front of Kaido, just afraid there is no way to compare. The Navy was really in danger of being destroyed, but Kaido. At this time, 2 generals also appeared in front. It's a pity to defeat Akainu and leave Kaido behind, because Kaido's original intention was to kill Akainu and receive the branch reward. Akainu's extraordinary resistance results. After being blown away by his own invincible attack, he was still alive and not dead. There is no way. Only the remaining general can hold the knife. The 2 generals naturally couldn't just sit and wait for death after seeing Kaido arrive. They immediately used their abilities. Kaido's Wolf-Tooth spear reached his hand and arm. Both were frozen. But it only froze the surface. It did not affect Kaido's actual movements. Aokiji's strength in all aspects is not very strong. Kaido judged, attack is not good, speed is not good, defense and vitality are not good, hockey is not outstanding. It seems that his great general's strength depends entirely on the level of devil fruit development. Aokiji must have developed the high no Meter King level or above. Most likely not an ordinary king level, so that we can have a great general. Too much reliance on fruit will immediately present problems. That is, once the fruit loses its effectiveness, he will have no more tricks left. Kaido's body was covered in ice, and with a light shake from Kaido, it all shattered. The Wolf-Tooth Club also approached Aokiji, this time. Kaido is not a normal attack. Just now, normal attacks hit Garp, Akainu, or sent Kizaru and Aokiji flying, but none of them killed him. Normal attack, defeating the general is not difficult. Killing the general, still a bit reluctant. So, Kaido used the move Thunder Mangbagwa. Kaido's jaws were clenched, haki overflowing. Aokiji discovered that the freeze was ineffective and tried to escape, but the movement is too slow. Aokiji's legs, solid and sturdy, carried a move called Thunderclap 8 trigrams, bang. A deep echo, all Aokiji leg, flew out several dozen more than 100 meters away. Fall in front of the elite Navy group, the Navy was shocked to see this being sent flying. Gradually realized, this is not General Aokiji's freezing ability forming leg. But the real leg, General Aokiji's leg, is broken. General Aokiji is seriously injured, the Navy side. Suddenly scared scream. Aokiji also fell to the ground, he was in pain. Also in the eyes appeared fear, looking at his broken leg. Having fought with Roger's pirate crew before, he had never received such serious injuries. Fresh blood flowed out. Aokiji used his fruit ability to freeze a leg. Also prevents fresh blood from flowing out. General Aokiji's leg was broken. Yeah. The pirate group was very excited. Hit so long. Finally, for the Navy side, bring real damage. To good, the pirates' morale grew stronger. They rushed into the Navy camp and were able to fight 2 or even 3, because the Navy's morale was greatly damaged. Many people did not want to continue fighting. But the pirates' morale skyrocketed, and it was time to fight to the death. Aokiji Sengoku was distracted once again. Cannot be distracted, the general's leg was broken. Such a shocking incident happened. Who could stay calm? How is Kaido so strong, but this time? Sengoku was not injured because of distraction, because Whitebeard was also divided. He was equally shocked, damn it. Aokiji's leg, so easily broken, this is the general. So fast to cause serious damage, tell the truth. Whitebeard is currently not confident that he can absolutely defeat Aokiji. It seems that Kaido is truly rising. There is no way to describe it with common sense. Kaido behind. Kizaru turns into light, but this move was already predicted by Kaido Kenban Shoku Haki. Kaido thought Kizaru was trying to sneak attack him. Don't think about it, Kenban Shoku Haki prediction came. Kizaru wanted to run, General wants to run away. Kizaru naturally wanted to run away. Akainu and Aokiji were both defeated with one move. What's the use of me keeping it? It's better to keep your distance and attack from afar. Maybe you can still cause some damage by luck. But Kizaru is very fast. Kaido is not slow either. Kizaru wanted to leave the route above. I have seen the speed of light. Kaido appears here. Kizaru was shocked. After all, Kaido is a king-level speed. Kizaru transforming into light can be faster than Kaido. But transforming into light takes time. Normally he is not as fast as Kaido. What made Kizaru even more upset was, Kaido also said that he saw the light. What do you mean? Are you kidding me? At the Foam Island, Kizaru's domineering aura shot out, and he was kicked past at the speed of light, forcing him to stretch, his ability invincible. Now Kaido's words. Is there really a joke about him inside? Wolf Tooth Stick, Heoshoku cover, Kizaru stopped him with his hand. He could only use his hands to block it. There was no other way, fall into Aokiji vicinity. Arm, broken. At this moment, the arm also flew out, leaving Kizaru's body and escaping from the house. 2 great generals were seriously injured in succession. One arm is cut off. One leg is broken. The Navy looked numb. As expected, Akainu and Aokiji are not opponents, and Kizaru is certainly not either. Finished. What can be done this time? Who will rescue the Navy? Navy internal affairs, all are not enough to see. Wouldn't really want to watch as the Navy headquarters was razed and erased. Garp, come back and help quickly, Sengoku shouted. The 3 generals were all defeated. Only with Garp's return, perhaps a battle can be continued, this moment. At Luffy's direction to the execution platform route above, Garp stopped there. I won't let you pass, Luffy. Garp said sternly, I am the Navy headquarters Lieutenant General. You now, Luffy, are my enemy. I will absolutely not show mercy to your subordinates, Luffy. For Ace's sake, even when his grandfather was blocking him, he still wanted to punch. Garp was blown away. When are you still splashing water? Sengoku was terrified, then broke the room and roared. Sengoku had already thought that Garp would splash water. This old man has had a huge problem so far. Protect Roger's wife, adopt Ace. Revolutionary soldier, pirate's nephew. The whole family of criminals. Garp himself is also free to wander. Sengoku can always endure. Because Garp did these things, in the end he hoped for peace, but did not like the celestial dragons. So keep the peace at the same time, also catch some fish, do not give the celestial dragons too much work. Sengoku also doesn't like the celestial dragons. Open one eye, close one eye, the situation is so dangerous now. The three generals were defeated by Kaido one after another. I was also injured by Whitebeard, such an urgent matter. Garp needs to step up, Ace needs to be executed, it will destroy pirate morale. Such an important moment, Garp should have paid more attention, don't act like a show-off. He is still doing the pattern, was knocked away by Luffy's punch. Can you act well or badly at all? So obvious, so open and honest, not willing to give up. Really want to see the Navy destroyed, right, Ace? Luffy goes to the place on the long picture. Sengoku really wanted to go and stop him, but he couldn't be distracted. Completely held back by Whitebeard. Look back at the three generals, making Sengoku jump even more. Just now Kaido still broke Kizaru and Aokiji's arms and legs. Currently, Kaido is chasing the two attacking generals. Two generals, on the run, chase the general to fight. What fighting power, Akainu returned halfway. Three generals joined forces to attack Kaido. Each and every one of them was defeated by Kaido. Aokiji and Kizaru, because of their injuries, their fighting power had greatly decreased. Right now, they only have about 7 to 8/10 of their peak strength left. Moreover, it is decreasing. Akainu was attacked twice by Kaido, and only had about 80% of his strength left. And Kaido, his state is at its peak, one champion, many kings. Facing the three great generals with such little strength, leading them to besiege them became a laughing stock. Wow, Akainu spat out blood and flew out. The other two generals were also overturned by Kaido again. Aokiji was covered in injuries and had blood flowing from his head. Kizaru is the same, but is still not processed. The general is hard to kill. Kaido once again carried the Wolf-Tooth mace and passed by. Three generals all started to die. Fight. What to fight? The difference is so big, continuing to fight is obviously just inviting death. Three great generals joined forces but could not defeat Kaido alone. On the contrary, he was beaten to such a miserable state. Navy morale, of course, does not need to be thought about. Basically, one-sided, hunted by pirates. Lieutenant General Group also dealt with several. Ace was rescued from the Long Image and is now using fire to wipe out the elite navy. But these are all miscellaneous level combat, for Kaido and the generals fighting. There is not even a single point of influence. The only one here who is not defeated is the Navy Lieutenant Admiral Tsuru. Any pirate that approaches her will be turned into flat clothes by her washu no Mi, like clothes being hung out to dry. Around her, a forbidden zone was formed. No pirates dared to approach, even if it is the Whitebeard pirate cruise officer. All the pirates, morale high above the tent, approaching Lieutenant General Tsuru's range also stopped, couldn't help but sweat, swallow saliva, nervously retreated, but Tsuru's strength also did not reach the rank of general. His strength far surpasses the Yonko's vice captain, but is inferior to the Yonko, so he can crush the pirates here, including the officers, but he had no way to participate in the battle between Kaido or Whitebeard, and similarly had no way to influence the situation. Kaido over here, before that, the three generals besieged Kaido, but were defeated one by Kaido. That led to the great general's strength gradually becoming weaker. They were beaten by Kaido and suffered even more serious injuries. So now three generals join hands at that time. Kaido won strength 3, no need for individual attacks. The three generals used all their strength, but could not stop Kaido from launching a single attack. Every time the general was attacked by Kaido, it was like a bridge was undulating outward. Then Kaido continued to pursue, creating a more serious attack. Naval aspect, this moment countless deserters. The three generals, in front of Kaido, are actually so weak. Hit 3, whatever. I regret being in the Navy. Kaido want to become the pirate king, even the king of the world. Run away, run away. I can't fight anymore. The Navy, popularly known as the Navy, gave up hope. This battle continued to be fought. It was meaningless. The three generals were so miserable that they could not bear it. What can these ordinary Marines do? Captain Buggy. Buggy's pursuers at this moment found Buggy. Just now Buggy fell on the square, fell on the Navy in the battle camp. Now the Navy, popularly known as deserters, rushed to escape to the battlefield. Buggy was also lucky, completely unharmed. At this moment, seeing the pursuers coming, Buggy was deeply moved, finally saved. But those who pursue, also extremely excited, shouted loudly, "Captain Buggy, please hurry up and do it. If we're late again, it'll be too late. Listen." Buggy considered the pirate to be the loser. If not, why do I need to take action? If the pirates really lose, I can only escape with my life. The three generals were seriously injured by Kaido and are currently chasing and killing three generals. Captain Buggy, you didn't make a move, and all your reputation was taken away by that Kaido guy. We want to kill one general and threaten the whole world. That's right, Captain Buggy. We can't let that Kaido guy get away with all his fame. Captain Buggy and Kaido are on equal footing. Killing a general, Kaido wouldn't dare stop him. Captain Buggy. The followers wait in anticipation. Buggy was stunned. Kaido can fight three people one-on-one and attack the three generals. You're even more awesome than Roger. I passed by Kaido's ability to blow the air. I immediately died 10 times. Buggy sweats. Then, Buggy put his hands on his hips, stiffly, and said, just a general. Even letting Kaido is not important. Our target should be the marshal, the hero Garp. Those who pursue the scriptures should be afraid. What? It turns out that Captain Buggy has not made a move for so long. He is an eyesore to the general and has even bigger plans. It's our little situation. Captain Buggy's way of thinking is not something we can understand. Woo, following Captain Buggy, it's really too happy. The followers were moved to tears for these ordinary pirates. Killing a general or for emperors is the most glaring act. In fact, in the eyes of the legendary character Captain Buggy, there is basically no such thing as a small character like a general. Let the marshal speak. Let Hero Garp open the circuit. Others, not qualified right now. Navy headquarters square, the temperature suddenly rose infinitely. Akanu's potential was completely unleashed. He erupted, far surpassing his previous strength. Kaido was also stunned, surprised by Akanu's unexpected transformation. But it's not just Kaido. The two other generals, who were about to be beaten to death and covered in injuries, were also equally startled. Their pupils condensed, should I say. Aokiji and Kizaru realized something. Far away, Akanu Sengoku was also startled. Garp also stood up from the ground and said, the fruit has developed to a higher level. So now is the real limit, Akanu fruit. With others not the same, Logia system, strongest fruit. Of all the Logia fruits within, the Akanu Mago no Mi fruit ranks first. Even stronger than Blackbeard's Yami no Mi, of course. The Yami no Mi has special properties, but it doesn't show how strong this fruit's fighting power is. Blackbeard still wants to rely on seizing the Goro no Mi to fight. Come to what Goro no Mi, trash one. Goro no Mi plus mind net, even Luffy who just went out to sea can't beat. Same level as Crocodile Suma no Mi fruit. Therefore, Mago no Mi fruit is the strongest Logia type. It's extreme. different from other Logia types, but it still has spatial advancement. This moment was pushed into a desperate situation by Kaido. Unleash Akainu's potential, making the Magu Magu no Mi fruit. This moment is truly perfect. This was something Sengoku, Garp, the other two generals, and even Akainu himself had never thought of. Kaido, of course, didn't think of it either. Just feel it, Akainu Force, crazy approach to championship. The temperature is rising steadily. Akainu brought the fruit to its fullest potential. And his aura increased greatly. Look through these increases. With high temperature comes change. Whitebeard and Sengoku fought, but were both defeated and had no choice but to stop. Whitebeard looked back and said, Akainu, he has also reached this realm. These people are on guard. Sengoku was a little surprised, and it's at its peak. It's not like we're old and weak guys. Rocks, Roger, Whitebeard, Garp, Sengoku. These people are on guard, legendary realm. Each era's strongest person can reach this level. Akainu at first this level gap, still a bit different, his previous strength. Along with Big Mom, red hair these people are on the same level. But now, transcendent, entering a peak era. Enough to compete with the peak era of Roger and Whitebeard, without falling into a disadvantageous position. Sengoku was extremely happy. He originally thought that Akainu would need several years or even longer before he could break through. Unexpectedly, Kaido attacked and he finished early, equivalent to the Navy side. Now there is another Garp, for the war aid spending is large, there can be no doubt. Far away, as far as the eye can see the horizon, the sea surface that could be seen with the naked eye began to boil. It can be seen how high the temperature Akainu fruit reaches its limit. The weak pirates and navy were burned to the ground and seriously injured. Many people jumped into the sea and dived deep to avoid the high temperatures. The ground turned into lava, extending to the surrounding wall. All are changing into hot lava. Akainu also turned into a human lava at the edge of invincibility. Kaido was also judging Akainu's strength before his eyes. But he is not truly invincible. In the end, he is still a bit behind and has no true superiority. But being close to invincible and being invincible is a world of difference. Not reaching the championship is very normal. Garp does not have any invincible abilities. To put it plainly, Roger, Rox and these people are just infinitely close to invincible, so they are destined to be the strongest of their time. But there is no way that the strongest person of the time can resist this kind of person. 800 years. Don't know how many eras have passed. I don't know how many Garp, Roger, Rox this kind of people appear. They are ultimately just a shining figure of a certain era, without any invincible abilities, just ordinary. Akainu, of course, also doesn't have the ability to have invincible level abilities. But even so, the same majestic atmosphere. The Navy headquarters almost turned into a lava island. No distinction between friend and foe, burned the sea-to-death pirates and Navy. Everyone ran in all directions. Lava is spreading. Our feet are about to turn into lava. Akainu is mad, want to be devoured by lava. Originally you die I live fight, peace, everyone was just running away. Even if the strength is strong enough to prevent the lava from invading, people can still escape. Because these people, although not afraid of these spreading lava. But then Akainu and Kaido started fighting, that kind of battle aftershock. They didn't have the confidence to be caught up in it and still survive. Navy headquarters. People are getting less and less. Almost only Kaido and the others are strong. Kaido. Akainu's face was bleeding, at this moment except for half of his face. The other parts of his body turned into lava, flowing down and stirring. I still want to thank you for helping me enter this highest level. I will not let you pirates return alive. And continue to do whatever you want. The world needs peace and justice. Lava fist head, strike towards Kaido. The high temperature twisted the air, as if the whole world was twisting. Kaido's teeth suddenly slammed down. Hold on, Kaido was a little surprised. as expected of someone who is close to infinitely invincible, with his invincible attack power. He still couldn't defeat Akainu. The opponent momentarily blocked Kaido's attack. From Akainu's perspective, must be still very enthusiastic. In a situation where he was at a disadvantage, the microcosm suddenly erupted, and in the battle he climbed up in strength. For a moment, he was evenly matched with Kaido, and Akainu had the feeling of a passionate male protagonist. But this is reality after all, not manga or novel. So, Kaido just had a tug of war with Akainu. Akainu could not bear it anymore. He is approaching the limitless invincible strength. He can only guarantee to temporarily stalemate with Kaido's invincible attack power. Kaido is still full of energy. Akainu had completely exhausted himself, accompanied by Akainu's low, desperate roar. Boom! Akainu strikes out a lava explosion. But Akainu's arm twisted and broke. Mouthfuls of fresh blood came out from Akainu's mouth. At the moment Akainu flew out. Fresh blood in the sky left an arc, rainbow color. Around Akainu formed lava. This moment all is disappearing, returning to normal. Akainu fell heavily on the ground. This heavy impact to the ground caused Akainu to spit out blood. He also heard the sound of his body breaking apart. Akainu temporarily increased his strength, reaching a peak era. But this did not allow Akainu to change the situation. On the contrary, he received more serious injuries than the other two generals. Bones do not speak the whole paragraph, at least more than half. Internal organs must have been injured, possibly bleeding heavily. There was a sound of Akainu being beaten. At this moment, I can't even stand up. He fell to the ground. It's just that Akainu's mental strength is indeed very strong. Normally, someone with such serious injuries would be in a coma. But Akainu, still awake, Sengoku numb. Garp was also stunned. The other two generals bowed their heads in despair. Lose. Akainu, who had reached Garp and Roger's level, still lost. But again, it's just a trick, in fact. Just now the three generals joined forces and could not defeat Kaido. They already knew it would be like this. It's just that it's inevitable that because of Akainu's rise, he still holds a trace of illusion now. Even this last bit of illusion is gone. They thoroughly face reality. Kaido, go to Akainu's side. Prepare to marry him and receive the branch mission reward. Shameless pirate, you can defeat me. You can even destroy the navy. But you will eventually be killed by others. Akainu said the words were already very reluctant. Not through his hatred outside the stronger willpower. Let him still consume the body. Push out to say, because this world needs peace and justice. Peace and justice flame will not be extinguished. And it will eventually give birth to a person, to quell the crimes in this world. Spread the peace, pirates. Let peace and justice spread throughout the world. Let all the common people will never again be threatened by pirates and criminals. Go beyond the normal, fertile life. You, these shameful pirates, will finally be completely destroyed. Listen, that's a very spirited words, the navy behind the righteous man. Peace and justice, are they the things they strive to maintain? But it's Kaido. Absolutely do not agree with these words. What is that celestial dragon planning to do again? Kaido asked. One problem, Akainu asked silently. This Akainu person is very complicated. He is an absolute justice in one aspect. On the other hand, they pretend not to see the evil deeds of the celestial dragons and even help them commit evil deeds. What is this absolute justice? Absolute justice sounds like it can't tolerate a single bit of crime. In reality, Akainu is exceptionally tolerant of crime, even becoming an accomplice to crime, and is very dedicated to maintaining the rule of the celestial dragons. At the same time, 2 years later, Akainu followed the normal development line to become a marshal. Even joining CP Lucci can hate him. Akainu, as a dog-like stance of a celestial dragon, was shown to be extremely delicate. The entire navy, no matter how sweet the words, in fact, They are all just dogs, so Kaido completely doesn't believe anything Akainu says about peace and justice. One sentence Thien Long Non can make him silent, but Akainu. There was also a quick rebuttal. The crimes of the celestial dragons are 1 cent less than those of the pirates. You enslaved the Wano country, traded in guns and ammunition, and under the command of criminals who killed, set fires, robbed, and burned to death all over the world. Dying under the pirates' command is a commoner's death 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times worse than dying under the celestial dragon's command. So you can just sit back and ignore the crimes of the celestial dragons. If you truly represent justice, you should attack pirates and celestial dragons together, but you only attack pirates. Your absolute justice, isn't that too absolute? Kaido said, in fact, Akainu, you should be very clear. I have many transactions with the world government. You are very clear that the world government has no righteous stance at all. They are only maintaining the rule of the celestial dragons, enslaving the entire world. Let me ask you, as a member of the celestial dragon's rule, what righteousness do you have to speak of? The celestial dragon is a trump card. Just play this card. No navy can claim to be righteous. Garp overview. This old man at God Valley and Roger cleaned up the rocks at the same time. This matter is actually a bit unclear. It turns out that Garp and Roger are just barking dogs under the command of the celestial dragons. At this moment, the evil celestial dragon came to question the righteous Akainu. Akainu was naturally silenced again afterward. Akainu gritted his teeth and said, in order to destroy pirates, this is a great crime. Making some compromise is a must. The damage pirates have caused to the world is the greatest. First destroy all the pirates, then slowly reform everything else. On the contrary, it brought out Akainu's rebellious thoughts of the celestial dragons. This is very normal. Akainu is not deaf or blind. How could he not see or hear the evil celestial dragon? Be a general. His contact with the celestial dragons, both in distance and number of times, definitely far exceeds the vast majority of people, so Akainu definitely understands. Compared to the vast majority of people in this world, what kind of trash the celestial dragons are. Akainu just didn't dare to resist. He doesn't have that courage. Also do not have that ability, so what is he saying now? First eliminate the major crimes, the rest slowly rectify and reform, to explain his weakness, cowardice, obedience and fear towards the heavenly dragons and humans. Kaido glanced and saw Akainu's thoughts, that is. Kaido continued to stab his heart, saying, everything else will slowly change. You believe in this kind of words, right, change, how to change. With just your little ability, what can you change? You dare to openly kill in the Holy Land. Most likely you won't live more than 10 minutes. You know this very well, right? So you joined the Navy and became a dog of the Dragon Man. You fear the celestial dragons, fear them, but you are not willing to admit it. So pretending to be righteous paralyzes yourself. You are the one who deceived yourself. The dragon and the heavenly men who arranged your mission are all righteous. You are deceiving yourself. You are doing the right thing. You fooled yourself. Dealing with pirates is a top priority. Although the celestial dragons are a bit bad, they can slowly change. But in reality, you really can't see through the truth. Huh? Akainu, you are just a subordinate of the Dragon King. A weak and evil dog, Thien Long Non, is the worst of that group. They have been here for 800 years. How many people have they killed? You, a great general. Don't you know? Haven't you read any internal documents? 2 years later, the Revolutionary Army infiltrated the Holy Land, caused a ruckus, and returned in one piece. That's because they had already made a retreat from a secret place nearby and were ready to flee. If the front attack, Akainu, this kind of person, also does not live more than 10 minutes. The Knights of the Gods were enough to kill Akainu many times over. Moreover, Thien Long Non still has many trump cards. Whether Akainu is afraid or not is not mentioned. He did not dare to resist Thien Long Non. It was a done deal. But a strong person like Akainu, does he really not have even a bit of pride? So Akainu's inner self is very simple. He submitted to the Dragon King, but his pride made him unwilling to admit it, thinking of a small resistance, but did not have the courage to actually do anything. At most he would exchange a few words with the celestial dragons. CP Lucci can even make him not dare to fart, can only sulk. If you keep doing this, your mind will become distorted. So Akainu could very well be deceiving himself. He lied to himself, saying that the heavenly dragon man was good in many ways, just had some small flaws for the order of the heavenly dragon man. He also deceived himself that it was a righteous act, wanting to massacre and destroy all people, all of whom were bad people. Cheating to the end, Akainu fooled himself. Obviously, he helped Thien Long Non do so many bad things. There is a name again, absolutely righteous, absolute where. But he also knew very clearly that the celestial dragon had done so many bad things, but he turned a blind eye. Where is this absolute? Akainu admonishes Kaido for being a bad person. In fact, Akainu himself is a bad person, and at the same time is an even worse accomplice, 800 years from now. Thien Long Non moved a little bit to destroy islands, cities, and countries. These actions, Akainu, a great general, could it be that he did not hear a single thing? How does he mean that pirates are the worst? So Kaido hates him now. Akainu tore open the curtain. Let him see clearly, see his own lies. But people are very difficult to face, the most honest themselves. Especially after deceiving himself for so many years. Kaido tore off his mask and saw his true self. Akainu was a bit unable to accept it. So, Akainu responded. He hurriedly shouted agitatedly, "You shut up, you shut up, you shut up. I am not an accomplice. I am not a criminal accomplice. Everything I do is for peace and justice. For the sake of the majority of commoners to survive. Being forced to sacrifice a small number of people one by one, am I not in pain? But is there an easier way to do it? You don't know the torment I'm going through. You don't know what I'm carrying, you evil pirates. You don't understand anything at all. Listen to him. I know, Akainu knows he is an accomplice in doing evil. He just kept beautifying his own behavior in his heart, deceiving himself." Kaido took the opportunity to continue stabbing, saying, "You understand, you just don't dare to do the right thing. If you are truly purely for peace and justice, why don't you join the revolutionary army? Pirates, celestial dragons, you kill together, no crime is forgiven, but you do not have that courage. You fear the heavenly dragons, you fear the 800 years of history, you do not dare to go through the time of being hunted. You choose to become a heavenly dragon hound, you join the navy. You rely on the world government to rule the world, its invincible combat power, to live the safest, most comfortable, and most powerful life, and to be at ease as a dog under the command of the celestial dragons. Still have the face to say you are righteous. Killing a few pirates is called justice. Pirates go. The 7 warlords of the sea are allowed to rob and kill. Celestial dragons are allowed to massacre. Killing pirates is just to make you think you are doing a good deed, to move yourself, to deceive yourself. In fact, there's no change. Isn't this funny? Isn't it sarcastic? You are now still like that meaning of words. You are really too funny. Akainu heart, stab the heart." Akainu's temper was about to collapse. He shouted loudly, "You shut up. What's the point of saying this nonsense? Who can resist the celestial dragons? Who can resist the world government? You were at God Valley that year. Didn't you see the terrifying background of the celestial dragon, Kaido? You don't want to pretend like you don't know anything. Just say it here easily. I'm in your mouth, and I have no teeth. At least I'm trying. I'm a marine. I kill pirates. For peace, I'll do my best, even if I'm just a dog under the command of a celestial dragon. But you, Kaido, you talk so much. What do, you shameful pirate? You have harmed so many people. I am countless times taller than you. Finally, Akainu honestly brought out his idea. He hated the celestial dragons, but feared the celestial dragons. He faced reality, admit that you are just a dog of the dragon god. But even so, he also contributed to peace and justice. What right does Kaido have to talk about him? Listen. Kaido revealed a smile and said, Akainu, I've been waiting for you to say this. You finally admit the dragon and the heavenly are evil. You also admit your so-called absolute justice is very deceitful, right? So next, there is chatting. You ask me what I do. What right do I have to talk to you? I can tell you clearly now. I want to kill my way to the Holy Land, destroy all the celestial dragons, and overthrow their 800 years of rule. I want to find One Piece, become the Pirate King, and end the Great Pirate Era. Celestial dragons and pirates will all disappear under my efforts. I will transform into the Sun God, rescue all slaves, and spread freedom throughout the world. This is exactly what we need to do. And destroying the Navy is the first step in my plan. Kaido ate the Nika fruit and eventually turned into the Sun God, destined to overthrow the celestial dragons and spread freedom. This moment. Whitebeard, Garp, Sengoku, Kizaru, Aokiji all were shocked. Are these words coming from Kaido's mouth? This guy who enslaved Wano country, sold guns and ammunition, and brought countless disasters, could say these words. This motherfucker is still Kaido, will not in the body, turn into another person. Too strange, Akainu was also stunned, then laughed coldly, you are more deceitful than me. Even if I take a step back and say everything you said is true, you don't have that ability. You were also in God Valley that year, the inside story of the Heavenly Dragon. Do you need me to tell you? You are basically looking for death. Listen. Kaido did not argue with Akainu, saying, the Celestial Dragon has threatened to destroy your courage. Akainu, you deserve to be despised by everyone. To keep in mind the path, in the future I will put the heads of the Celestial Dragons, including the heads of the Gorosei, in front of your grave, to let you see, the things you dare not do, I dare, the things you cannot do, I can do, you will realize what a cowardly, weak, and useless guy you are. Akainu was stunned. Behind those, destroying the celestial dragons, Akainu did not believe, but Kaido's previous sentence. The celestial dragon man's threat to break his heart really stabbed his heart, because it's true. It turns out that I was just a weak person who was scared out of his wits by the celestial dragon man, to the point that I didn't even dare to resist. I'm waiting for the head of the Dragon King. Akainu raised his head again. Obviously, Akainu was prepared to die. Kaido also fulfilled him. Branch reward, kill a great general, completed. The reward has been added to the book. It can be opened at any time. Akainu thus went offline, to scare everyone around. A great general, indeed dead, this war. Compared to imagination, it is countless times more cruel. But now, Kaido turned around, looked at the two generals, then looked at Garp, and finally looked at Sengoku, saying, Sengoku, what I just said to Akainu, I also said it for you to hear. What do you think? Do you want to join me, kill your way to the Holy Land, and overthrow the rule of the celestial dragons? This issue just came up. Whitebeard's eyelids fluttered. This Kaido guy. It turns out he's not just fighting with Akainu, is reasoning. Then now, want to invite the Navy Marshal to rebel. Really have the guts to think, Kaido absolutely no normal road, damn it. People can't imagine how it works. Whitebeard never thought of inviting Sengoku to rebel in his entire life. In fact, no matter who has potential in the Navy, they would not dare to imagine inviting them to rebel. They are in the Navy, with high positions and power, ensuring harvests regardless of drought or flood, taking advantage of every danger, dividing rooms and assigning ships, and each time they go on a mission they get all kinds of allowances and countless benefits, plus they have a very firm stance, which is not towards justice and peace. How can I rebel? So Whitebeard in this life did not even think about Kaido's current operations. Invite Sengoku to rebel. You are good feeling. But Kaido, this move works, also bring Sengoku said dream. Please invite me to be a traitor. I never thought that one day there would be a pirate who would make this kind of request to me. Even though what Kaido just said to Akainu did make some sense. In this world, the greatest evil is actually the celestial dragons. Next is pirates, but just because the celestial dragon is bad, we can't stop attacking pirates. Now their navy is struggling to fight the pirates just fine. Thus, the commoners only receive damage from the 7 warlords, celestial dragons, and other people. If there was no navy, the common people had to bear even more serious losses from pirates. On one side are pirates, celestial dragons, and commoners all injured. On one hand, it's just that the celestial dragons hurt the common people. Which one to choose? Still need to think. If the civilians suffer a little, it is the Navy's responsibility. Sengoku also practiced this idea all his life. Garp, in general, thought the same. They are fighting crime in their lives. Countless times danger is resurrected. They were steadfast in their ideas of justice. Fighting pirates and fighting crime is their lifelong responsibility. Now Kaido invites Sengoku to rebel. This is really a bit beyond expectations. Or say to crazy, you invite me to rebel. Sengoku was stunned, then shook his head. Kaido, I admit that what you just said makes some sense. But I order that there will be absolutely no cooperation with pirates. The celestial dragons are not considered good people. But at least the situation is relatively stable. Once the Navy rebels, the celestial dragons will fall. By then, the only force that could strike against pirates, bandits, and criminals would all disappear. All kingdoms, islands, completely lost their umbrella. Is that good? Think about it. Under that kind of chaotic situation, the entire world will turn into a pirate and criminal paradise. The common people only receive, compared to the present suffering, 100 times more, 1,000 times more treatment. These words just came out. Garp nodded first. Garp really disliked the celestial dragons. He even didn't mind saying in the Holy Land, in front of outsiders, that the celestial dragons were all trash. But why does he still want to work for the dragon god? Also because he had no other choice. Join the Navy. At least I can fight pirates. I can go out and be a revolutionary or a pirate. Even if I finally defeat the celestial dragons, can I guarantee that by then the world will definitely be better than today? At a block full of holes laid out, sewn patched. It's better to burn the cloth, not knowing whether a new piece of cloth can be woven again. The possibility of the newly woven cloth being more tattered, with more holes, or even not being able to weave a new piece of cloth at all. The other 2 generals, of course, also had the same idea. They have such high status and power, they understand the celestial dragons even better than Kaido. They clearly know that the celestial dragons are a bunch of trash. But just the whole thing is fine, then bear with it. Anyway, compared to the table flip, the future may be even more disastrous. Of course, the most important thing is still, they also have no strength to flip the table. And Aokiji's dissatisfaction with the celestial dragons and his resistance to the celestial dragons were all in his lazy justice. Don't take things so seriously. If you can fish, then fish. For the meaning above, especially the meaning of Thien Long Non, then you can ignore it. If you can fish, then fish. If you can destroy, then destroy. Kizaru is of course the same. At the time of Foam Islands, Luffy fought the celestial dragon. Kizaru, a great general, passed by, and no one took him down. This is a real general. Should there be a performance? A celestial dragon was beaten, and he wants a great general to come out. Am I really a celestial dragon under the hands of a dog? For the strong, who doesn't have pride? So fishing, just to not pay attention to your work. Don't say Thien Long Non was beaten. The celestial dragon was killed. I also couldn't catch a single pirate today. Of course, acting is still necessary, so Kizaru's mouth is full of fear, and it appears that this is a fierce and excellent battle. Even this veteran general was scared by the New Era pirates. It is truly terrifying. Even covers the present. The summit war begins. The generals are still fishing, obviously able to start a push towards Whitebeard. The three generals surrounded and attacked Whitebeard. Result, Akainu immediately paid attention. The other two generals were dragged back by Whitebeard's cadres and even kicked away. If it weren't for Kaido, this incident, Aokiji and Kizaru, the entire summit battle, is unlikely to happen. Garp is even more so. He is a Pirate King level, legendary powerhouse with undiminished strength, the strongest existence in the peak war. He can completely handle the current Whitebeard single-handedly. But he was right there watching the show beat the monster. The whole journey of splashing water to catch fish, so say it. How many people in the Navy actually work for the Celestial Dragons? Almost none. Even Akainu, he is just a bit more serious in personality, and has a deeper hatred for pirates. He wants to kill Ace more than anyone else to prevent the birth of the new Pirate King, and is not willing to let the Celestial Dragons be his dogs and do his work, so strictly speaking down. The Navy has the highest combat power in the group. All are two-faced towards Theme Long Non. But they don't like the Celestial Dragon. No expression immediately want to cooperate with pirates. They also dislike pirates very much, hate pirates very much. Therefore Sengoku refused. Kaido invited him back. At this moment, Sengoku, on the contrary, invited Kaido, saying, "Kaido, I heard everything you said to Akainu just now. I can probably believe that you are also a person who strives for peace and justice, perhaps even for freedom. Our ideas, in fact, coincide without planning. No way, join our Navy. I can use my privilege to immediately promote you to the rank of new general. Akainu is dead. You take over. We can give Akainu's cause of death to others, like a Whitebeard. In the Navy, you can uphold justice. We destroy pirates together to bring peace to this world." Sengoku, on the other hand, began to persuade Kaido. One side, Whitebeard simply thought of flipping the Byakugan. As expected of a naval officer, famous for his intelligence, incited after failure, immediately, he turned around and started to incite Kaido, promised general status. Promise peace and justice, promise community pursuit. Talk is so charming. Afterward, Whitebeard looked at Kaido, waiting for his reaction. Hearing what Kaido said to Akainu just now, you can roughly understand. Kaido has changed. He now aims for peace, freedom, and justice. Could it be that he was moved by Sengoku's words? If Kaido temporarily rebelled, Whitebeard, watch out. I'm dead for sure. That is, in the bottom of my heart. It's hard to avoid feeling a sense of urgency. Kaido won't really join the Navy.